Hi there everyone, this is Fatal, and today I will be talking about the military simulation game Arma 3 and what makes it so successful. This game was released a little over 9 years ago, on September 12, 2013. Upon its release, the game was averaging about 5,000 concurrent players daily, until March of 2014, when that number reached 10,957. Since that day, the average concurrent player count has never dipped below 10,000. Even getting up to about 23,000 players on an average day, with numbers even reaching 56,185 for the maximum amount of players playing at the same time. There obviously is and has been a huge interest in this game. The average daily concurrent players number is still sitting at about 11,000. But what's the reason for that? First, let me get you familiar with what the game even is. The core game takes place in the mid-2030s on the fictional islands of Altus and Stratus in the southern Mediterranean Sea. War has broken out between the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, and the Canton Protocol Strategic Alliance Treaty, also known as CSAT, and the events of the game take place during said conflict. There have been several DLC that have been released since the game originally came out, taking place in multiple new locations, both fictional and real. This game provides a very realistic representation of real-life combat scenarios, requiring teams to communicate, plan, and to utilize proper equipment required to successfully complete a wide variety of mission sets ranging from covert sniper missions to large-scale combined arms operations. This includes both single-player and multiplayer sessions, as the single-player in this game comes with a pretty decent squad leader interface, which allows you to do most of the things that someone would want to do in real life, such as calling for fire support, instructing your squad to move to different locations, putting them in different formations, and much more. And that's just the base interface, because as with everything in Arma, there's a mod for that. So this leaves the question, what exactly is it that makes Arma 3 so successful? One of, if not the most iconic things about Arma as a franchise, not even just this game, is the mods. The developers are obviously aware of the fact that their game's replayability stems from its healthy modding community, because the game is pretty much modeled around the editor and the mods/scenarios that are created both with the editor and in the mod dev suite. This has led to huge mods being released from this game and other Arma titles such as DayZ, for example. This is a huge draw for me, definitely, as it allows you to think to yourself, what kind of game would I like to play today? What universe would I like it to be in? And how would I like things to play out? Then you can just go to the Steam Workshop to look for a mod that fits it. What you're met with is a Steam Workshop with an astounding number of mods, over 118,000 if you want to narrow it down a bit, ranging from the tiny fixes that they have like fast roping out of helicopters to full conversion mods that take the game into a Halo universe, for example. Then you're dealing with insurrections on UNSC colonies as a Spartan with a full suit of working armor, which, by the way, is not part of the base game if you were wondering. Whatever your cup of tea is, this game has it for you. If you're interested in flying, well, you can fly around the large suite of aircraft both already in the game or modded in, where you can fly helicopters, A-10 Warhogs, Pelicans from Halo, Lats from Star Wars, or any other number of aircraft that you'd like to mod into the game that isn't already there. Want to be a badass who's just basically Call of Duty himself? Well, you can increase your health pool, or you can just download a mod that gives you regen health and everything like that. Want to have a realistic infantry experience where temperature, humidity, weight, amount of space in your pack, medical supplies, and even more than that are something that you have to pay attention to? Well, you can do that too. If you're interested in base building and defending from an attacking enemy, using logistical lines and resources pre-allocated to your team, well, you'll never believe it, but there is a mod for that too. You get the idea. 99% of the time, if you venture into the Steam Workshop to look for a mod, you'll more than likely find it, and also find something that you didn't even know you were looking for. This is why I say that if you ever enjoyed having imaginary battles as a kid, with a gun that's just some random sticky fun on the ground, you'll love this game. Because you can take whatever universe you latched onto as a kid, as an adult, whatever it is, and insert it into this game to customize a big battle that you either get to play in or just watch play out if you really wanted to, by using Eden Editor, which leads directly into my next point. This game allows players to hop into a world where missions are as large or as small as you wish. Some servers even have persistent wars where teams just have to manage resources and defenses to ensure that the enemy doesn't catch them off guard while they're offline. Some are just built to complete series after series of covert missions against AI enemies. Some of them are ultra-realistic missions with real-life military assets, and others are big battles of World War II era soldiers fighting clone troopers from Star Wars, all while zombies are trying to overthrow the both of them. The imagination that you have is the only limiting factor for the game modes that you can play both by yourself and in multiplayer, which is the common thing among all of the reasons I'll list here today. The editor in this game is built in a very clever way, where you can know very little about it and still make some pretty basic missions that are still fun for yourself to play. Or you can learn how to do some basic scripting so that way you can ensure that every little thing that you want to happen actually does. Basically being able to take an idea that you or your friends come up with and put it into the game so that way you can all enjoy it, or you can just enjoy it yourself. You know, I've been part of servers where there are set roles that have limited amount of people for each of them, kind of like in Squad. Such as transport helicopter pilots that take people from the base to the objective and anywhere else that they want to go. The objectives that are created in the game are set by the commander himself. He can say what he wants to happen, when he wants it to happen. And the whole objective is to mount a cohesive attack against AI enemies, sometimes even in heavily populated civilian areas where killing civilians means failure. It's this creative flexibility that makes me say that this is one of the key strong points of this game. And when we're talking about game modes, they really did not skimp out on this. There's things that are as basic as team deathmatch, and then there's also game modes where you earn points by either taking objectives or getting kills on the enemy, and then you use those points to get squads, supports, vehicles, or whatever it is that you need to utilize to complete your mission. The boots on the ground experience is so fun and satisfying. Whether you want it to be where you get just weighed down by all the equipment that you're carrying and your character can hardly move, or if you just want to give yourself infinite stamina and just run around with 500 pounds on your back and act like it's nothing. That's your choice, and that's the experience that you get to decide on whether you join the server or not, or if you just create it yourself. The gunplay feels great, and the way that you can command your squad to get the objective completed is always a blast, if not a bit janky. There's an infinite amount of ways to complete any given mission in this game, and that's up for you and your friends to decide. Even the base game itself has a lot to offer, because the missions that they have set up in the campaign are difficult, but they're fun. And the third-person view that you can get on your characters, the way that you can look around and everything, are very well designed, and they work really well with the movement system that they have set up in this game. The movement is very advanced in the fact that you can manipulate your player's body however you want to, so that way you can hide behind cover in better ways or position your character above objects or whatever it is that you need to do in order to complete your mission. Now, all these reasons combined are what makes this game the ultimate game of replayability, and have allowed this game to see such success for the past almost 10 years. And I definitely have a lot of hope for what's going to happen in Arma 4 based off the last few years that I've been playing this game. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope you guys all can see now why Arma 3 is so successful. Now, I'm sure that I didn't do this game justice with all the reasons that I listed, and I'm sure I'm missing something, but especially with a game as big as this, you don't know what you don't know. So if I'm missing something and you want to bring it up, feel free to leave it in the comments. Really hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider liking and subscribing. Let me know if you want to see more content like this. Thank you very much, and have a great day.